Yo, what's up, boys? It's Surron coming through with another one. Yo, we got a special one for you today. We got unboxing, we got viewer questions. We're gonna talk about the bike stable, but first, before we get into that, I want to dedicate this video to Patriot Canuck. Yo, he said,
"Where get money for all this upgrade? Only in me dream.
People who have more money than brains."
my brother, you have no idea how right you are.
So don't blow it. Don't do drugs. If you're doing it, stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
Stop it. Get help. I don't need help. If I did need help, I'd call up Eric from Lunacycle, and I'd be like, yo, Eric, I'm feeling sad. And he'd be like, hey, did you get the Carbon Gates drive yet? No. Well, do you want it? Okay. Yay! And then I realized I need to cut my frame, and I don't want to do that, so I'm like, eh. Today we're going to talk about unboxing and bike stable. Alright, we got another unboxing video. What we got here, prickly parts. You know, it's a good day when the prickly man shows up. I already opened that box. This is a fake unboxing video. Yeah, can't wait to replace this boy. When I do that circuit breaker delete, gonna swap that in there. I might even actually paint it. You know, this raw metal's a little too raw for the ride. You know what I mean? Nice sprocket, some alignment tools, prickle jack shaft. Didn't even know I needed this, but it's absolutely critical for when you're jacking it, jacking the shaft. Put all this stuff aside. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Warp 9 wheel set. Those instructions say you need to tighten the spokes with a spoke wrench after the first couple rides. And I actually did get a torque spoke wrench from Tusk Racing. We'll look at that next. I like this came with the rotor. That was kind of nice of them. Gorgeous, gorgeous wheel set. I'm actually waiting on that boost spacer before I can throw that on there. Because that EXT Ferro fork does need the boost spacer. What do we do here? Fat boy. It's my 16 wheel. I think my 54 tooth sprocket. Warp 9, that's nice. They're just gonna send me a wheel set. It's very nice of them. Compliments of Trashworks. Can't say enough good things about Trashworks. You know, when it's a Saturday and you got questions or you're broken down and you send them like an email, they answer. EBMX support is amazing. Some guy named Bridger on the Facebook. You know, I had a firmware problem on Saturday and he responded in like 5 minutes. Like, dude, I don't even respond to people that fast at work. Take my goddamn time. But, you know, I appreciate that. So I'm going to give them shout outs. Because, you know, when you're stuck and your friends are riding and you're like, oh my God, air this, air that. What are you supposed to do? It's the end of the fun right there. What else new did I get? I got this skid plate that you need for the EBMX motor. I really wanted to use that grid shift skid plate, but you actually have to get a new one from EBMX. This one's very similar. I don't know. Not quite as nice. Wanted to keep my heavy hitter. What else we got? What else we got? Oh, nice rear fender. Lingoy Racing. Here's that Surron belt drive kit that I won't use because I'm not going to cut that swing arm. You know, I got a titanium kit like I mentioned. I'm not thrilled with that pink color. What should I do? Should I just make a whole new Surron and make it a pink Surron? Let me know in the comments if I need to make a whole new bike because of this pink hardware. Here's a closer look at the Warp 9 wheel set. 19 in the front, 16 in the back. It's on a mixed pair of some Shinko, Adventure Trail, 100 by 90 by 19. That golden pony. Can't wait to swap these babies out. I'm waiting for that boost spacer. Should have ordered that earlier. Ain't no Amazon Prime for a Warp 9 spacer. Let's talk bike stable. Apparently I have a problem. I don't see it, but other people think I do. This is my Surron. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Some of you guys asked me about this little bag, which is awesome. I love it. I kind of rigged it up in a very homemade way here with just some nylon, 1-inch nylon strap and these QD clips. Kind of look like they're off a backpack. This is just stuff you can get on Amazon. And the bag itself is this molle pouch. It's got this molle webbing, and I just kind of rigged up this 1-inch nylon strapping with some zip ties, and you kind of just plug it on there through the little battery port, and it works. You know, it holds my phone, multi-tool, face mask, sometimes bear spray. There's a bear on the loose, and you know how people be in the streets. Gotta spray them with some bear spray in your face. It's, you know, pretty handy. It does cover up my super secret prickly switches here, which you can really rig up to do anything. That's a whole nother video, how these are going to be rigged up for some very sneaky effects. But I do love those switches. They're awesome on that ignition plate. I'm also going to be swapping these brakes. I like them, I don't love them. They're Hayes Dominions. I just saw on a video by Logan Taylor how he swapped to this very pricey brake kit. So of course I ordered that immediately, and that's on the way. And I can't wait to swap this for braided brake line. Oh, it's just going to be amazing. Next up in the stable, it's a Surly Pugsley. Paired up with a BBSHD Bafang motor. This is actually one of my favorite bikes. It's just never meant to be a bike. It was never meant to be an e-bike. On paper, it's probably all wrong, but when you ride it, it's just amazing. Those 4-inch tires float over really anything. When you air them down, they're super comfortable. It doesn't have a suspension fork. Would I like to get a lefty on this? Maybe, but I like it just the way it is. Swapped out the shifter with this thumb oops. Oh, gotta fix that. The egg rider. These dry bags are really handy for emergency. You know, if there's a downpour, I'll quick pop my battery in there. You know, if it's just sprinkling a little bit, the Lunacycle bags are pretty much okay for a little sprinkle, but when it starts to downpour, I'd rather save my battery. Of course, the thud buster, that's critical on this bike. After a few hours, you know, the grips can start to hurt your hands a little bit. You know, but what are you gonna do? My last ride on this was actually 56 miles. I went down this path through New Jersey, almost all the way to Trenton, New Jersey, through Bucks County. Wound out to be 56 miles. I was trying to do a range test. It did start to rain a little bit at the end, so I kind of throttled home with the last little bit of juice in the battery. My average was 13 miles, so I was basically pedaling and flying down this path past probably hundreds of other bikers, and they hate me, but I ring my little bell, I fly by them. Next up is this Kona with another BBSHD. This one is modified to have a couple upgrades from Lecky, the bling ring, and that motor cover to change the profile. I got that from Lunacycle when Luna was in its prime, as well as that battery storage tank from Luna. You know, Luna used to have some really rare stuff. I do miss that they don't have that stuff anymore. I really wanted a Dire Wolf battery, never got one. Yeah, this Kona's probably got 4,000 miles or so on it. I really use this to cruise into the city. Use it to lock up once in a while. I used to visit this girl and I'd lock it up on her porch late at night. I wasn't really worried about it because, you know, this crappy mountain bike fork, who cares? But that's also the downfall of this bike because it can't really go fast because these crappy low-level mountain bike components just really aren't, you know, meant for e-bike speeds. So this one's cool to cruise on, but let's move on to the next bike. Over here we got a Specialized Skunkworks Carbon space bike, 29er. You know how Skunkworks does it. I actually wanted to make this into an e-bike, but the carbon bubble around the bottom bracket here was too thick. I couldn't get a BBS motor in there. So it's a really nice bike. I use it for riding. I use it for racing other people. This one time I was racing this guy who happened to be a cop, and he was trying to catch up to me, giving it everything he got, and I beat him. And, you know, that was man, moment, machine, and this happened to be the machine. So, you know, it's got a special place in the stable. It's carbon. I have a panic attack going to Wawa and locking it up outside because I think someone's going to steal the parts off of it. You know, it's got top of the line at the time, XTR, everything, Shimano group set. Yeah, this thing is light as a feather. One thing about carbon I didn't like, when you have got a motor on it, it really flexes and it feels like it's going to break. So I also didn't like that about the carbon bike. I want something a little more stable when I'm flying down the street. So this was a project that never really launched for e-bike, but still fun to ride as a bike. This piece of trash is a Black Friday special that I got off Bikes Direct. It's like a gravity road bike. Why is it covered in trash, you ask? Because it's a trash bike. It's got a BBS 02 motor on there that you can't even see because it's covered in trash. This is the bike that I ride into the city if I want to lock it up for hours at a time and worry less about it. You know, I covered it in trash basically, so it looks like trash. My friend had a bike in the city that he locked up overnight, and that's the ticket to not getting it stolen, is that make it so no one wants it. Not even a crackhead wants the rusty old parts and dog shit on the tires, so apparently that's the secret, and that's this bike. I had a lot of fun making it, and it rides okay. I might switch out those tires because they're a little, like, thin. One time I was riding through town, I forgot I was on this bike, and I saw a bunch of girls, and I rode past them. I got to the stoplight. I must have smiled. And the one girl looked at me and said, "Oh, hell no." I was like, oh my God, what the fuck am I riding? This bike. I don't ride it often, But it's an option, you know, and I just want to chain it. No one's going to steal this thing. No one even realizes it's an e-bike. Looks like it's got, you know, homeless people's clothes in it, not a battery pack. This is a custom subframe from Factory Z Racing. Something I actually got off eBay, custom made. I might try this out. Got the other swing arms, the other subframe. Let's talk batteries. Right there, that triangle. 52 volt, 24 amp hour, Panasonic GA cells. That battery's probably about 7 years old. I probably have 5,000 miles on it, maybe even more. It's really held up. I've tried to take care of it, but it's you know, it's my battery. It's got a Luna Mighty Mini and a Mighty Mini bag. Of course, Luna Shark Pack. For charging, I've got the satiator. That one gets really hot. It needs a fan. I always have to point a big fan at it because when you're charging at 7 amps, it really gets hot. Various other battery bags. They're supposed to be fire resistant. I've got a couple of those bags. Sometimes I park my batteries in. I also have a Luna battery box that I use sometimes to charge. Of course, these other Surron batteries are not going to fit in there. There's Surron chargers. Safety first. Glasses are mandatory. I would say a helmet is also mandatory, although I used to never wear one. There's been times where I regret not wearing one, and now I wear it. I've gotten nailed in the head, and fucking sucks. It wasn't even my fault. It's never your fault. It's always some other fucking stupid bitch who causes the problem, but what are you gonna do? Let's see. I've had that bottle for a while. I'm gonna pop it. If I get 100 likes on this video, I'm gonna pop that bottle. If I get 100 followers, I'm gonna down that Grey Goose and go on a ride. This bottle right here, you know, that's a cursed bottle. This girl was over here and drank that much of it, and then went on a possessed spree. She crashed her car. Oh my God, it was nuts. So I'm afraid to even pour that bottle out. It's so cursed, but I'm gonna save that for another video. We'll do something with that. You can't really take a surron to the bike store, and you can't really take a surron to the motorcycle store because the motorcycle guy said it's a mountain bike, and the mountain bike guy says it's a motorcycle, and then you're stuck. So you should get some tools. I'm gonna go do a quick breeze through my tools here. Something like a Park tool torque wrench is mandatory. I've got a Tusk spoke wrench. If you get a wheel set, that's also going to be mandatory. Got a soldering kit here, socket wrenches. That was a Lunacycle toolkit with all kinds of bottom bracket utilities, Allen keys, you know, all the typical mountain bike tools. You know, I should actually spill out my toolbox and go through all that. I might do that in the next video. I'm going to mount this number plate. I actually have to drill and tap to that prickly bar mount. So hopefully I can get that number plate mounted. I'm actually starting to like not having one. Might even change that graphics kit. All upcoming videos. Over here we got some X-ring chains. I've got one for the extended swing arm and one for the regular swing arm. I also have a chain rivet extractor somewhere over here. The Surron multi-belt tool from Grit Shift, so I can get that bolt off with the weird head on it. How much lock is enough lock? The answer is you can never have enough lock. But, I mean, who really wants to ride around with this 15-pound brick hanging off your neck like your DMX? The answer is nobody, so I'm never going to ride with this. I got this lighter one. That sucks. I'm never going to ride with that. This thing is okay, but somebody can just bite through it. I'm not going to lock my Surron up with that. what is the best happy medium? So far, I found this hip lock. You can kind of wear it like a hip belt, and it's probably got, I mean, you know, lockpicking lawyer can get through this in a second, but, you know, just to lock it up to go in Wawa, get a drink or something. Yeah, probably rolling with that hip lock. You know, if I was gonna, I mean, I would probably try not to ever lock it out overnight, but if I had to, I would probably use that one. And now, last but not least, the most fun of all, a 26-inch Gary Fisher crappy old mountain bike from the 90s, 300 bucks. Man, when you're out with your friends and you don't care about your bike and you're just pedaling and riding and having fun and laughing, you can just dump your bike and not worry about it. That's actually the most fun you're going to have. Yeah, you can go faster and you can do different things on all these e-bikes in the e-bike lab in mommy's basement. But crappy old mountain bike, riding with your friends, yo, it doesn't get more fun than that.